Hello friends, this is Promi and welcome back to the Kerbal Commonwealth Space Agency. In today's episode we are going to go to the VAB rather. We are going to improve our money for boosters rocket in order to take our tourists into orbit, and hopefully they will be able to reach high orbit and Jeb can perform some additional experiments when he's up there. So let's go to the VAB. Alright, to start with, let's load up our money for boosters. L2X torch from last time. Fix that up. Okay, now, last time we didn't quite make it to orbit. It was a suborbital flight with our tourists. Our trajectory was a little bit suboptimal, and additionally when we came back for a splashdown, it was pretty hard, so I think this one Mark 16 parachute is not going to cut it if we want everyone to be comfortable. We still don't have radial parachutes available, so I think what I'm going to do is try to stick some more Mark 16s on here. Need to do a little bit of a workaround. So I'm going to use these cubic octagonal struts, like so. Stick these additional Mark 16s on here. And then use these tools to bring them in a bit. Maybe rotate them a little bit. Something like that. It's a little bit knobbly up there, but I think it should work okay. And that should bring our landing velocity down quite a bit. Make sure no one breaks their teeth. Now we do have our enhanced part limit now, up from 30 to 255 with the new facilities here. They're quite nice and clean compared to the level 1. So I'm going to make this top part look a little more cohesive. So I'm going to use some strut connectors. So let's get some symmetry, snapping, and just do it just like this. And here. There we go. That sort of ties it together a little bit, makes it look somewhat less silly. The structure is a little skeletal, but it I think is a little more pleasing. We can also put our other experiments on here in case we need them. So that's the thermometer and barometer. Put them down by the mystery goo. Just turn snapping off. Thermometer there. And the barometer here. We can do our usual recessing in just to clean it up visually. Something like that. Looks pretty good. I think I need to rotate that just a little bit to get it to look right. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, same with the thermometer. Not quite as fussy as the other one. There you go. Okay, so what else do we need? I think we will need an upper stage. So we have our experimental, where is it? Experimental LV909. Oops. Oh yeah, this is all kind of funny because the root part is a fuel tank down there rather than the capsule. So, okay, let's put a decoupler on here. It's under structural and decoupler, like that. And we'll put a FLP 400 fuel tank. And, oh, I guess the engine would be important. There's our engine, fuel tank, and our triple capsule. There we go, we have our upper stage. And just to make sure we have enough delta V, let's swap these ones out for our larger boosters. Put snapping and all that. Oh, what's going on here? That's peculiar. Let's maybe start with a single one. Put our recovery nose cone on here, the parachute. Make sure our boosters get recovered. And I want these to flip the front way out rather than inwards. So I want the decoupler closer to the front. I think that'll maybe, yeah, about like that. Just to make sure we don't collide with our main stage. Bring this part down. Nope. Need to attach it to a different fuel tank. Let's turn it on symmetry now. And get it so it sits on these on the launch pad. There we go. That looks good. So, am I forgetting anything? A good amount of delta V. Recovery for our boosters, upper stage, mystery goo, parachutes, staging. I need to fix the staging. Right, parachutes at the top. Yep. And that one. Not these two though. Those go with one of the decouplers, and that one there. What are these? So those. Is that both of them? Where's the other one? There it is. Okay. And then these two parachutes go with them. Okay, so we have our boosters and our core engine. No, that's not our core. That's our core. And then we have our decoupling of the boosters. And then we have decoupling the upper stage from the main stage. Start the vacuum engine. And that decoupler, and then our parachutes. So I think that's good. Okay, let's give this a name. It's the sequel to Money for Boosters. I think a good name would be Mo Money Mo Boosters. Seems appropriate. We'll save that, and now Jeb's already in there. He's in charge of taking care of our tourists, Cylin and Milbald. And I think we should be all prepared. So let's head to the launch pad. Okay, we are on the launch pad, but I just realized that I forgot to set the proper thrust on these boosters. So, a little bit of inconvenience, but we will haul the rocket back into the VAB. for that adjustment. Okay, let's look at our solid rocket boosters here, and I want to limit the thrust to maybe 40. Probably about right. Yeah, a thrust to weight ratio of 1.36. That's about right for takeoff, so save that again and head back to the launch pad. Alright, we are on the launch pad with Jeb, Cylin, and Milbald. Let's throttle all the way up, turn on stability assist, make sure our staging is good. Yep, looks good. So, in 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Here we go. Lots of smoke from those boosters. Want to keep straight up until we're going about 100 meters per second. Then I'm going to pitch over by about 5 degrees. There we go. Pitch over. Whoop, something weird happened there. Okay, now I'm going to turn off stability assist and let it do its gravity turn. Throttle down a little bit. Boosters are about to run out of fuel very shortly. Okay, there they go. Let's jettison our boosters. Nice separation. Throttle up. Cylin and Milbald are once again rather frightened by this ordeal. Jeb's pretty happy though. Still not going for EVA right now though. Doesn't matter how happy he is. Let's get our roll under control here. And okay, that looks okay. Let's look at our map view. Check our apoapsis. We're at about 1/3 fuel remaining in our core stage. Oh, we have some messages here. Looks like our boosters were recovered, so that's good news. Apoapsis is almost at 60 kilometers. Another 15, and then we'll cut the engines. Some quite high peaks over there. Okay, our apoapsis is at 77. A little bit more fuel in our core stage. But we'll probably do our circularization burn with primarily with our upper stage, with the LV909 Terrier. I do believe I have a contract for that. Just have to stage it, or 80 to 87. Now, maybe we can do that later in the mission, or on a future mission. We've got lots of time to do that. Let me get, okay, looks like we are in space proper now. We get lined up along our eastward vector. Just going to disable torque on 2 of these capsules. A little bit excessive having all 3 reaction wheels going. Okay, let's use the rest of our core stage. Okay, the fuel's depleted. Let's ditch our main stage, start up our upper stage, and let's get ourselves circularized. We passed our apoapsis, so we left that a little bit long. Oops. Get our stability assist on. Well, that was pretty suboptimal, but we can bring our periapsis up. Once we're at our apoapsis, shouldn't decay too much, and we'll be in orbit proper. So we're back in the upper reaches of the atmosphere right now. Let's keep an eye on our electric charge. We want to keep our capsules heated. And our... okay, our main stage was destroyed. Heading back up, back into space. That's good. Should keep an eye on our available experiments here, just in case Jeb sees somewhere outside that he hasn't taken an EVA report over yet. So it won't be relevant until we're actually in space again. Let's get this thing pointed more prograde. Go. Okay, we're in space again. So that's good. See the lovely star field. And there we have, I'm not sure if it's a bright star or a planet. You can see the moon. It's quite nice. Take a good screenshot for our video thumbnail. Anyway, let's turn our interface back on so we can keep an eye on our available experiments. Let's time warp forward a bit. Oh, just over the land right now. Or oceans. There we go. Looks like we can do something. Jeb, what do you see? EVA report from space just above Kerbin's highlands. Looks like we're coming up on a mountainous region. Okay, let's keep that data on board. Get this thing under control again. Jeb must have kicked it on his way out. Let's time warp some more. Coming up on the nighttime side, we can see some of the lights from small settlements and cities. Don't know if we're going to get any more EVA reports. We'll watch it. once we get up to our apoapsis, we can get ourselves a proper orbit, and hopefully we'll be able to bring it up to 250 kilometers, so we can take some readings from high space. I just felt that kilometers sounds better, but kilometers seems more logical to me, considering how you pronounce all the other units. Kilometer sounds more like a instrument rather than a measurement. Okay, I don't think we're going to get any more EVA reports. So, okay, our apoapsis is at 106. Still pointed prograde, so that's good. Once we're at about 106, I can fire up our engines again, and the alternator will help recharge our batteries. (103), 104, 105, and 106. Okay. So let's burn prograde until we see some messages here that we are properly in orbit. There we go. Actually, I think the LV909 actually does not have an alternator. That's sort of unfortunate. We have completed our tourist contract. Now we just have to get them safely back to Earth. Or Kerbal, rather. That seems to be stuck on... Put Jeb on EVA. That fixed it. Now I'm going to watch our electric charge carefully, but I want to... When we're at periaps, I want to try to bring this up to 250. So let's time warp forward. Oh, looks like we can get an EVA report again. EVA report in space from above Kerbal's mountains. The mountain chains form interesting patterns below. That's good. Jeb can see a nice blue crescent of the atmosphere. Looks like we got another EVA report. I'll have to stash this one first. Store. Kerbal's Highlands. Mountainous region. Didn't we get that already? I think we did. Yes, we did. Okay. I guess because we didn't have our vessel active and instead had Jeb, it didn't know that we had that already. Let's put ourselves prograde again. And it's time warp. Again, keep an eye on the available experiments. There's one. Get out and take a look. Aha, the desert. The desert below is bright and a rich golden yellow. Well, what of the desert that you can see through the clouds? Let's keep that and store the experiments. See what else this is. Kerbal's Mountains again. Okay. Let's board back in. Don't quite remember where Kerbal's Badlands are. I think it's only in one area. Might have to take a airplane mission there to take a look. Maybe we can find some ancient fossilized creatures. Whatever passes for a dinosaur around here. Oh, we're spinning. Okay. Get that under control. Electric charge still looks okay. Let's time warp to our periapsis. Okay. Point prograde. And let's see if we can't bring this up to 250. To keep an eye on our fuel, we'll need a little bit to get back. I think we'll be okay though. 220, 30, 40, 50, there we go. Yeah, that should be good. It's not really so bad looking with these struts, I think. Sort of ties it together. I guess it literally ties it together. Not quite what I meant, but alright, let's time warp. Time warp up to our apoapsis. Keep an eye on our electric charge. Should be above half when we get there, so that's plenty. You can see the aurora swirling away there. Okay, looks like we are in high space and we have some new experiments to do. It's the night side of the planet. Through crew report, you observe Kerbal and try to make out your hometown, but is lost in the surface detail. Be lost in the sea of lights. Mystery goo. The goo seems to have changed color somewhat after passing through Kerbal's radiation belts. Well, I hope the crew are okay going through that, but I guess they were not in for very long. And the EVA report. What do you see, Jeb? Floating in the abyss of space, you feel a bit disoriented. Yeah, I guess with all this blackness around, I would probably feel that way as well. Okay, board back in. I brought that thermometer and barometer, but I guess there's no science to do with them up here. I thought they added the ability to do science with the pressure sensor in high space. Perhaps Science Alert just isn't showing it. Let's do it manually. Log temperature. No, can't be done. Pressure? That can't be done either. Maybe I can do pressure from low atmosphere? Anyway, we need to do our deorbit burn. Okay, let's just use up the rest of our fuel. Should be good. Still have a little bit, but don't want to come in too steeply. Alright, let's jettison our, I guess you consider that our service module. There it goes. And that will just burn up in the atmosphere. Now I wanted to see, once we get below 250, if I can do this pressure scan. I thought you were able to do that. This could have been that we already got that. I just didn't remember. Log pressure data. Can't be done right now. I swear they changed that. We got a nice view of 3 planets, I guess. It's obviously Eve, Duna, and I guess that's Moho. Let's speed this up. Orbital sunrise. Nice hazy blue of the atmosphere. Okay, we're going to hitting the atmosphere shortly, so let's get the capsules oriented properly. Can take off our stability assist. Electric charge still looks good. And we'll be back on the ground in a few moments. Okay, and we're starting to get our compression heating. Let's take a look from Jeb's view. Can't really see much yet. Oh yeah, there it goes. Now this isn't very useful. Let's do that and that. That's better information for Jeb. Capsule's starting to wobble around a bit. Kind of preferred the more vigorous shaking from Curbquake than the new stock effect. We're at 45 kilometers. We want to deploy our chutes once we are sub 300 meters per second. Blade of shielding seems to be holding up pretty well. Like someone next door is banging on their walls a bit. Apologize if you can hear that. Still doing that thing where the bottom capsule has 250 ablative shielding and the top ones have only 100. And I think we just heard our service module explode somewhere. Looks like we are going to land in the desert, I think. Okay, we're at 20 kilometers. Let's just speed this up a bit. Our speed is coming down rapidly. Cruise experiencing about 3.5 Gs. Is that just EVA? Yeah, we're not doing that. Okay, stage destroyed for service module. Let's deploy the chutes right about now. There they go. Okay, here we go, and our chutes are opening. And okay, we're at a good landing velocity. We'll still be fairly hard stop, so Jeb will get our tourists to prepare for that. And here we go. And the capitals fell over, but we are back on Kerbal, and our capsules are intact. Looks like we don't have anything else we can get from here because we did all the desert stuff in episode 5. Have that mystery goo. Wonder if we can get anything out of that. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, we'll keep that. Okay, looks like our tourists are happy. They got their money's worth. So, let's recover the vessel. Okay, so I'm recovering this from the map screen because we had a little crash, but that's okay. So, got 24 science, puts us up at 58. And we got 66% of our value back. It's a bit of a trek for our recovery teams to get over to the desert to pick them up. And Jeb and our 2 tourists all got some experience. Not that the tourists really need it, but maybe they will be inspired to become astronauts in the future. So, let's take a look at what we can do at our R&D. We have 58 science, so we can get one of the cheaper nodes. Turbine engines is a possibility. Also polymers for the radial mount parachutes would be handy. We won't have to do those silly Mark 16s sticking out of the side. That also leads on to crew training eventually, which gives us our larger command pods. Batteries not so important. And turbine engines might be nice if we want to have a higher performance aircraft for trips to the Arctic and to the Badlands. Turboprops and basic jet engines. But I think I can deal with the longer journey time. I do want to have the more convenient parachutes. So I'm going to pick up this. And I'll buy that right away. Okay. Back up at 96,000 funds. Let's see if Gene has anything interesting for us right now. So active, we still have to test our LV909. We did achieve a high enough altitude. It does say you have to activate the part through staging though. So we might have to get initial apoapsis of above 80,000 before we ignite our second stage in order to complete that. We still have over a year to do that though, so lots of time. Got our radial decoupler, also quite high up. And that one we took for the advance primarily, we'll get to that eventually. So we have flyby the Mune, atmospheric scans, it's still from a while ago. Looks like we have access to the gimbaled engine, experimental version. It's just landed at Kerbal. So that's something we could do. Suborbital trajectory, 70 to 83. And more tourist things. Well, I think we'll take these 3-part contracts since they're all pretty easy. So let's see, that was all landed, right? Big solid booster landed. Kerbal landed. Kerbal landed. Alright. So I think we'll end off the episode with another one of Bill's test rigs. So I will sign you off in just a moment. Okay, nothing too interesting to see here. Got all our money back. And got a little bit of extra cash. Let's check in with Jean one more time. More science data from space around Kerbal, always easy to have. Grab that one. And a couple more part tests. Orbiting the moon. That one could be interesting. But anyway, we're at the end of this episode. So I hope you have enjoyed this. This has been Promi. Thanks for watching.